Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this. It's kind of just like a stitch tutorial, but you can turn it into anything that you'd like. So this is the lark's foot stitch, but it's done in a rectangle. Instead of the back and forth method, I'm going to show you how to make it into a rectangle. Now you can make a big blanket out of this. I think if you could probably use about 2,000 yards of a 4-weight yarn to make a nice size rectangle blanket out of this beautiful stitch. Great for scrap busting, because you can make every row a different color if you have a bunch of yarn scraps, and it's very easy to do. I do show you how to put this shell border on it. Of course, you don't have to do that. That is completely up to you. You can use any border that you'd like, and this doesn't even necessarily have to be a blanket. It looks like, as right now, it would make a great placemat for, like, well, the colors that I use, you know, festive for the 4th of July in the US, but of course you can use any colors that you choose. You can make anything that you want to make out of this. The sky is the limit. I'm going to teach you the stitch, and whatever you make is up to you. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what I use. Here's the front side of the work, and here is what the back looks like. And here are the edges. I put that shell border on it. Of course, you can leave that off and put different border, or you can do whatever you like. But like I said, it's very easy to do. If you can single crochet and double crochet, all it has is one drop stitch, which is extremely easy to do. I'll show you how to do it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this to the side. So for this particular project that I'm, stitch tutorial, that I'm using a Red Heart Super Saver, which is a medium weight number 4 100% acrylic yarn. And the colors I'm using is royal, and then white there, and then cherry red. But remember, great for scrap busting. If you have a lot of scraps, this is great. Make it a big old blanket, or make it potholder, or whatever you want. Placemats, anything. Baby blanket. And use any yarn that you choose. And then I'm going to be using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. So we're going to go ahead and start off. This is a 1-row repeat, so it's very easy, with a slip knot on our hook. Now we're going to start with a chain of 20. All right, so once you get your chain of 20 made, we're going to be working in the, you see your chain here? If you flip it, you can see these little bumps on the back. We're going to be working in this little bumps on the back. So in the third chain from our hook, so we don't count the one that's on our hook, 1, 2. So this one right here, we flip it. You see it right there? See that bump? We're going to go into it. So it's just like one loop that you're going into. The third bump on the back. We're going to single crochet into it. See that? It's just one loop on your hook. That first one's always the hardest to get. And single crochet. And now we're going to continue along, putting one single crochet in each of these little one loops on the back of our chain. So the next one, 2, and then the next one, 3, and then the next one is 4, and you want to do this all the way down till you get to the end of the row. There's 5, 6, 7. So I'll meet back up with you at the end of the chain. Alright, so you've made it to the end here, and you should have 18 single crochets, and then you got this little space at the end where we skip those 3 chains. All right, so 18 single crochets and then this space here at the end. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and we're going to be working on the bottom side of our chain. But first we're going to go back into the same stitch that we just worked that last single crochet in, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into that spot. So there's 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to chain 2, go back into the same spot and work 3 more double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 2, and one more time go back into the same spot and work 3 more double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. So that's one of the corners of our rectangle there. All right, now we're going to start by skipping the next 2 stitches. So we are going to skip, and in the next one we're going to work 3 double crochets into the stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And then again we're going to skip 2, skip, and in the next one 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Again, skip 2, skip, and the next one 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3. We're going to keep repeating this. Skip 2 again, skip, 3 doubles into the next. There's 1, 2, 3. Skip 2, skip, 3 doubles into the next. Like that. And now we are going to skip these 2, skip, and then we're going to work, skip these 2, skip, and we're going to work in this spot here where that, at the beginning where we single crocheted in a 3rd stitch from the hook and we had this chain at the end. Go right through that chain, right there, right through the space of it, and work 3 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, and there's 3, and we're going to do the corner of our rectangle again. So we put 3 doubles and we're going to chain 2. We're going to go back into that same spot and work 3 doubles again. 1, 2, 3, and you might need to slide them over a bit, and then chain 2, and we're going to go back into the same spot one more time and work 3 doubles. There's 1, 2, and there's 3, and that is the other corner. See that? Now we're going to be working on this side of the chain. So we're going to skip 2. If you look, this is our first one. It's kind of hidden. 1, 2, and the next one we're going to put 3 double crochets. So it should be directly on the opposite side of the other set of 3 double crochets. See that? They line up just like that. Again, you skip 2 and put 3 doubles into the next. So skip, 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3, skip 2, skip 3 doubles. We do this all the way to the end. And as you can see, the sets of 3 are lining up on top of each other. All right, when you make it to the end and you can see they're all lined up, we're going to go ahead and skip the remaining stitches and end by slip stitching into our first double crochet. So here is the first double right here. Like that. I'm going to switch colors. So I'm just going to tie that off. And that is what it looks like so far. Okay, so the next row, it's probably the hardest row, but the thing is, it's not even hard at all. You can do it. So we're going to go ahead and start whatever color you're using next in one of the chain 2 spaces of the corners. Okay? So we go ahead and start our yarn. Now we're going to chain 1. And in this space, we are going to work 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to chain 2 and work 3 more double crochets. So that is what our corners get from here on out. 3 doubles, a chain 2, and 3 doubles. And let me clip that tail off so it's not hanging out in the way. And this one too. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and start, and we're going to work all the way around, but we do have to add a drop stitch on this row. So we're going to work in this space right here. So we are going to go ahead and put 1 double crochet into this space. And then we're going to do a drop double. Now we do the drop double different on this row only. So if you look down here, you can see there's the 2 stitches that we skipped. We're going to drop double crochet into the first one that we skipped. So we're going to yarn over and go into that very first one. And sometimes they can get a little tight, but go into it and draw up a loop, and just draw up it a little bit taller to the height of your other double crochet. And then just do a regular double crochet like that. And there you did a drop double. Now we're going to go back in the same spot here, just the open space. We're not going into any stitches, and do another regular double crochet. See that? Now that's what we're going to repeat all the way down until we get to our next chain 2 space. So why don't we go ahead and do it again. So into the next space, we're going to put in this space double crochet, and then we're going to drop double into the first single crochet that we skipped down here. So we're going to yarn over, go into that first single crochet that we skipped, draw up a tall loop like that, and then double crochet, and that's the drop double. And then we're going to go back into the space and do a double crochet, not into a stitch, just into the space, just like that. Again, we'll go and do it into the next spot. We're going to go down and into the next space and double crochet. Then we're going to do a drop double into the first single crochet down here that we skipped. So yarn over, go into that single crochet, draw up your loop nice and tall, and then double crochet. And then we go back into the space again, not in any stitches, into the space, and do a regular double crochet, just like that. So we're going to repeat this until we get to our next chain 2 space. Remember, we're going into the first single crochet for our drop double. There we go. All right, so I made it to, we have two chain two spaces here. So we're going to go into the first one and we're going to work 3 double crochets right through the space. No drop doubles on the corners. Chain 2 and 3 more doubles. So there's one corner of the rectangle, and now we're going to jump over here to the next chain two space and do that again. 3 doubles. There's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more doubles. So we got those 2 corners of the rectangle done down here. Now we're going to start working on this side. Now this side is done a little different than the opposite side. That way we can keep our points lined up. So I'll show you how it's done differently. So we're going to go into this space here and we're going to work a double crochet. And we're going to do our drop double. This time we're going to do it in the second single crochet we skipped on this side. Not the first one, but the second. So the other side we did it in the first single crochet we skipped. Now on this side we're going to do it in the second one. That way our drop doubles stay lined up. So go into that second single crochet that we skipped and do your drop double. And then go back into the spot, not in any stitches, but into the spot and do a regular double crochet. There we go. So that way those are lined up a little bit better. See that? Okay, and that's what we're going to do all the way down. So in the next spot we'll do the same thing. We're going to do a double crochet into the spot, and then we're going to do a drop double in the second single crochet that we skipped from the previous row. So go right into it, and it's a little tricky because you're working on where that bump was, where we went into that bump. So it's kind of just like, there we go. Bring it up, double crochet, and then we go back into the space, not in any stitch, and double crochet into that space, just like that. Let's do it again. And in the next space we do a double crochet, drop double in the second stitch that we skipped, and then go back in, kind of slide it over into that spot and do a double crochet just in the spot. Now I'm going to repeat this until I get to the end. All right, I've made it to the end, my final chain 2 space, and we're going to do what we do in every chain 2 space when we're going to work 3 doubles, a chain 2, and 3 doubles. So there's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and work 3 more doubles in the same space, just like that. And then we're going to end by slip stitching into our first double crochet over here, and that will end that row. So this was, the red was row 1, this was row 2, because it's actually a complete round as a row. So we're going to start row 3, which is the repeat row, and it's very easy from here on out. So that was the hardest row, and look, it wasn't even hard. Are you ready? So this next row, or next round, is the repeat round. We're just going to keep repeating this round, round and around and around, until we get our piece as big as we want it to be. So go ahead and start your next yarn in any chain 2 space. Let me cut off some of these tails so they're not hanging out. Okay. In any one of these chain 2 spaces. Chain 1, and we're going to work what we always do in every chain 2 space, which is 3 doubles, a chain of 2, you can slide it over if you need to, and 3 more doubles. One, 2, and there's 3. So there's our first corner of our next round. I'm going to clip this tail off. All right, now here's what we're going to do in each one of these spaces. So we're going to double crochet in the space, and then we're going to drop double in the middle stitch of the group of 3 from the previous row. So you see 1, 2, 3, you want to go in that middle one. So yarn over, go into the middle one, draw up a loop and draw it up tall, and then do a double crochet, and then go back into the same space, not in any stitch, and do a double crochet. There we go. So from now on, it's always the middle stitch of the group of 3 all the way around that you're doing your drop double in. It doesn't change. All right, jump to the next spot, go into it and do a double crochet, and then we do our drop double in the middle stitch of this group of 3. Pull it up, double, and then we do another double in the same space, not in any stitch, but just through the space. Just like that. Again, the next spot, we're going to double. See how easy this is? Now we drop double in the middle stitch of the group of 3 from the previous row, and do a double crochet into the same space, but not in any stitch, just in the space. Now I'm going to repeat this pattern until I get to my next chain 2 space. All right, so I've made it over here to the corner. That's what it looks like. It's looking good. So in the chain 2 space, we do what we do in every chain 2 space, which is 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles. And now you can see we have a space here that we have to work in. So we're going to do a double crochet into it, and then a drop stitch in the middle, double crochet of that previous row, and then another regular double crochet through the space. There we go. And now we're at the chain 2 space, the other corner of our rectangle. So we're going to do our 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles, and we're going to start doing our drop stitches again. It's okay if these are flipping up a bit, don't worry about that, we'll take care of that later. But we do this side the same as we did this side. So in this next space, we do a double crochet, drop that one, do a double crochet, and then a drop double in the middle, double crochet of that group of 3 from the previous row, and then another double crochet in this space, not in any stitch, but just in the space, just like that. Go to the next one, we do the same. So we're just doing the same thing that we did on the other side. Drop double in the middle stitch from the previous row, and then another double into that spot. Again, double crochet, drop double in the middle stitch from the previous row, and a regular double crochet in the same space. So if you look at it, they're lined up. So I'm going to repeat this until I get over here to my chain 2 space. All right, I'm at my chain 2 space here, my corner. So it gets the 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles. And you can see there's a space here that we have to work in. So we're going to work a double crochet and drop double into that middle double from the previous row, and another double crochet into the space like that. And now we're going to end by slip stitching into our first double crochet right over here, and that will end the round. And you tie this off and start another round, and it's just a repeat of that round. And you can see it'll keep getting bigger. So the next round, you see over here at the corners, you'll have two spaces to go into instead of one. In the next round, you'll have 3. In the next round, you have 4. Same over here. If you looked, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the white. And then the next round, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the blue. So it just keeps going up. The next one, you'll have 8 on the long sides. So each of the long sides will gain a group of 3, and each of the short sides will gain another group of 3 from the previous round. So that's it. You just keep repeating that round 3, or that blue round that I just did, around and around and around, whatever colors you want, solid color, ombre colors, changing colors as often as you want. Really, the sky's the limit on a stitch like this. You can make it very, very customizable to your color choices. So keep going until you get it as big as you like it to be. Alright, so after you go around and around and around and you get your blanket as big as you want it to be, I can show you how to put like a nice shell border on it to finish it off if you'd like that. So whenever you are ready for the border, you want to make sure that you end in a row that has an even number of drop stitches. No, we don't count the ones on the corner, but an even number. As you can see right here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the sides should be even as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So whatever, however big you want it, just make sure that the final row that you ended on before we put the border on has that even number of the drop stitches there, the set of drop stitches. We don't count the corners. All right, so we'll go ahead and start. All right, so we're going to start in a corner, and like I mentioned, it's okay if your corners are flipping up. This is going to take care of it right now. So we're going to start in any one of these corner spaces and go ahead and start your yarn, and we're going to chain 1. Now in the corners, we're going to work 9 double crochets all together. So we go right through there and we work 1, 2, you might have to slide them over as you go, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then one more makes 9. So there's 9 double crochets in the corner. I'm going to go ahead and clip that tail so it's not just hanging around there. Okay, now we're going to start, and in the next space here, right here, we're going to do a single crochet just right through the space like that. And in the next space, we are going to do 7 double crochets into this next space. So right here, we're going to go right through and we're going to work 7 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a single crochet into the next space. So that's what we're going to kind of repeat until we get to the next corner. The 7 double crochets and then the single crochet. Repeat in each one of these spaces. So the next one, we work 7 doubles. There's 7, and then the next one we work a single, and then we repeat again, and the next one 7 doubles, that. And then the next one, we're going to single crochet, and we're just going to repeat that until we get to our next chain 2 space here at the corner. All right, so I've made it all the way across, and you should have a single crochet here in this last space before your chain 2 space. And then in that chain 2 space, we're going to work 9 double crochets because that's our corner, just like we did the other one. And there's 9, and then we go ahead and start the repeat again of putting a single crochet into the next spot, and then 7 double crochets into the next. And we're going to repeat this all the way around, putting the single crochet and then the 7 doubles, single crochet, 7 doubles, and then every time we get to one of the chain 2 spaces or the corner, we put 9 double crochets into that spot. Now this is just a border you can do. You don't have to do this border. You can do any one you want, but it's just a quick shell border that you could add all the way around it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mine up, and I'll meet back up with you at the beginning. All right, I'm coming to the end, and you want to go ahead and slip stitch into your first double crochet. But I do want to mention that while you were working the 9 double crochets in the corners, if you felt like they were still flipping up, you can go ahead and put 11 in the corners, and that will hold them down even better. So either 9 or 11 is completely up to you. You can see this corner has 9, has a slight flip. This one has 11, and as you can see, it's laying more flat, but either way, they both look good. So just saying that if you notice that it's flipping a bit, go ahead and put 11 double crochets in the corner instead of 9, but continue putting 7 along the sides. All right, when you make it right back to the starting point, you want to go ahead and end by slip stitching into your first double crochet, and then we can tie that off, hide that tail, and then we'll be finished. That's all there is to it. So I think that it looks really good. I do. So remember, if you make this or anything else out of this, like I said in the beginning, you can use this as a blanket, the rectangle blanket, and make a great placemat, you know, for, well, the colors I use, pretty festive for the 4th of July here in the U.S. But, you know, any colors, great scrap GAN project, whatever you want to do with it. Whatever you make, show me a picture on my bag. I would love it if you'd show me a picture on my Bagoday Crochet Facebook page. There'll be a link to that below in the description. Also, you can come follow me on Instagram if you'd like. I'd really appreciate that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out over 1,000 crochet tutorials that I have as besides this. So until next time, have a good day.